this is 10 Minute Unscripted with Momo and Jake. And I was thinking about a theme today because we were in the past in the past 2 months, we were kind of in our spiritual growth, spiritual journey. I did my monk mode and I did 7 days meditation retreat on my own. And Jake also just went to a Sacred Sun. Can you tell us briefly what is Sacred Sun?
Yes. Sacred Sons is a men's movement. Um, I don't even know I never know how to describe it, to be honest.
It's kind of like a
It
men
is,
wellness, like you imagine like a woman's wellness. Woman's only wellness would be like yoga and meditations and connection with the femininity, like female sisterhood and stuff like that. But this is like a male version, so it's like more like action. Like what do you do? Like physical
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. It's ultimately embodied practices
Mm.
to the way that I perceive it is it's a way to perceive and look into yourself and to make the unconscious conscious and to notice the patterns we have, the roots, the places that come from,
Mm.
and then to be able to decide whether we want to continue those patterns
Mm.
or forge new ones.
Mm.
And part of the approach is that there's many other men in the room with you, and
Yeah. Oh man.
you are on the journey together. And so
Yeah.
if you decide that you want to change your behavior, change your lifestyle or your patterns and
Mm.
habits, you have the support there.
Like
And
a brotherhood
so,
support.
yeah,
I think we need more of that in our society, especially because I feel like wellness and men is like not something you imagine together. It's always like women's like getting together into things, and I feel like with men it's like way harder, and men also need healing too. So
oh
what
yeah.
what make you want to go? What make you decide to go to Sacred Sun?
I mean, I've wanted to go for a while. I felt for a long time in my life that there's been a gap in my development because I haven't had that support system.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I used to be in a church realm. I had a men's group, and when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger than that, I was in a youth group.
Yeah.
There was some I don't know, some anchors and some leaders and mature people around me that um, that were there to give me wisdom and guidance and
And in
you know
adulthood, it's like disappear something. Busy with
yeah,
your life,
you
working.
get older,
Yeah.
you break away
Yeah.
from those,
Mm,
at least for me, I broke away from the groups
mm,
that I grew up with,
mm-hmm.
and I keep my old friends, but hard to make new friends,
Yeah, yeah. The new
hard to
friends
meet
in
new people that
adulthood is
are
just hard. How
hard
to
to
meet
meet
new
new people
people.
that are in a similar growth mindset. I think a lot of people settle
Yeah,
into their
yeah,
lives
yeah.
in
Oh,
their mid
I
to
can't.
late 20s, and by the
Yeah.
time you're in your 30s, like we are, it's
Mm, mm,
a lot of people are kind of living the
mm.
way that they're going to live for the
Yeah.
rest of their life. Um, but I, for one, want to live differently and
Yeah,
grow
yeah.
and you know not be the same
Yeah, I
little
think that's
tree that
how
I've
we
been
connect as
since I
well, because
was young.
we both on our journey. Like
Yeah,
I can't live my life the same. My life is constantly changing and moving forward. Like living situation never the same. Things has to kind of like in a constant flow. Just this is how I
yeah,
am. Like I'm easily bored, so I'm always like what's the new thing? You gotta like I just can't deal with like stagnation, something like that. Yeah.
yeah. And
Mm,
that's a lot of what Sacred Sons was for me. Is
mm,
it was taking those stagnant things that I've been holding on to, the burdens I've been bearing, and just kind of carrying around. Which I don't think I'm the only man that carries around burdens.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
you're saying, wellness
So
and men's culture is they tend to
yeah,
not really
need
go hand
more.
in hand. Like males in America have a higher suicide rate generally, I think, than
Because of
most.
the pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
lot of pressure on that for
and not a
sure.
lot of release, and the releases we do
Yeah,
have
the
are
release is unhealthy. It's
unhealthy
unhealthy
releases.
release. Yeah.
And so Sacred Sons for me was a place to
Hmm.
have healthy releases of anger, of sadness, of, I mean, just looking
Mm,
inward and looking back.
yeah. So
Um,
basically, it's the healthiest way to release any
yeah,
trauma, any
I would
like
say so.
unhealed, anger issue, or like self development. So
Yeah,
it's very healthy.
in a
I'm really
in a
appreciate
men's
you doing it.
circle, it
Mm.
makes sense because I'm always about like ancestral living, and I think we're
Yeah,
missing our
yeah.
connection to our root, and
Hmm.
we
Connection
don't
to the
have the
root.
rites of passage that we once had in
What
our
can you do?
closer to being
Can
like
you
a tribal
identify?
culture.
Can you identify the rite of passage?
In my own life,
Yeah,
or
in like what is rite of passage? Just like for people who doesn't understand
yeah,
what it means.
a rite of passage is a very challenging, a voluntary challenge that is very difficult to get over, that requires you to grow
Yeah,
in
like
order to to get past it. I like that.
requiring you to be a lion.
A lion. Yeah, because
Hmm.
ultimately, like there's things within us that can only be tapped into when they have to,
Hmm.
and like when you're put in a situation where you have to step up, we usually do. But we live in a world where we're trying to reduce any amount of discomfort. We live in a very comfortable world. We're in comfortable seats. Our roommates love putting the AC on, even though it's nice outside. Like, we want to control as many things as we
Yeah, yeah,
possibly
it's not
can to
natural.
reduce the
Like
amount
so
of discomfort that we have.
sensitive.
Yeah,
American is so sensitive.
yeah. But
Yeah.
you become so much more resilient when you put yourself in a situation that is uncomfortable.
Mm.
It's to me why there's this resurgence of like ice baths and like
Oh yeah,
saunas and
to
like
experience some
you're
discomfort, some
yeah.
challenge.
We live in such a
Yeah,
comfortable world that we have to choose discomfort in order to like just remain resilient enough that the
yeah,
day-to-day life doesn't
yeah.
bother us as much, because
Hmm.
the most of the problems that we deal with on a day-to-day basis are not that big of a deal, but we treat
No,
them
it's
like
not.
they're a big
It's a
deal.
privilege
We're in
problem.
fight or flight mode for a long time,
Hmm.
like most of the day sometimes for some people.
Yeah.
And you know yeah, a cold shower or yelling from the depths of your soul in another man's face,
Is that what you did at Sakrasan?
it was one of the many things,
Yeah,
but
yeah. And there's like a lot of can you
yeah,
example that?
yeah. So some examples would be like, it would often start with something somatic, which would be something like get you into your body, get the blood flowing.
And kind
Either
of
a
like a
vocal exercise
gorilla?
of some
Yeah.
sort, or sometimes physical.
Like
You
a
know,
what is it called? Like
stomping and
tribal chant like wah.
some tribal movement and chants, and
I
but
love that.
it's just getting things moving, because like you're saying with the stagnation, like
Mhm. Mm. Stagnation, yeah.
that that is so much of what we were doing is getting things moving,
Mhm.
because I can speak for myself as a man. Many things I do not look back at, I do not look into, I do not look within. There are certain things that just get stuck. They get
Mm.
held in the body, and
Mm.
sometimes they release themselves physically in like different, like, I don't know, pain or discomfort or
Mm.
disease. But other times it comes out emotionally,
Yeah.
where like my response to something does not match
Yeah, yeah, the
the
situation. Yeah.
situation.
A
And
lot of people have
so
that. A lot of
yeah,
people channel their anger or their frustration in the wrong direction. Like they didn't fix their problem, but
yeah,
they lash
you
out to like people
you
around them and stuff. And
yeah,
like you never did that because you're very in tune with yourself, and if you have any problem, you know how to healthily like take care of it. So
yeah. Well,
that's really
and
good.
now even more so.
Mm.
um I mean, because to me, one of the things that sets like boys apart, men apart from boys, is like
Mm.
their ability to control their anger.
Can you say that in the camera?
One of the things that separates the man from the boys is his ability to control his anger. It's because if think about like the strong men you've known
Mhm.
throughout your life, either like elder like
Mhm.
family members or just like people you meet, like when a guy's very strong but yet very contained, you feel very safe around that
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And they can take care of shit. They can like if something bad happened, they can take care of. They
Yeah,
can like
yeah.
get
They can
fix the
handle it
problem. They can handle
physically,
it,
but also
but they don't lash out to their
emotionally.
family member.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or other
Mhm.
people, and they don't create problems that
They don't
don't
create
need to be
problems.
created.
They
You
don't
know,
create
the
problems for sure.
the unintegrated man is one that creates
Mhm.
unnecessary problems for himself and those around him.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and you see this play out in a lot of different ways. Like, um, and they don't have to be big, strong men. They can
Mhm.
be like physically and emotionally and spiritually small men that do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know,
Small.
yeah, I know,
Napoleon
I know you have
complex.
examples. Yeah,
Small D complex. It doesn't mean that it's physically small. It's just the action that like represent the the smallness
yeah,
of the mind
yeah.
of the heart. I'm a good host. I'm a better host.
Hello, Momo.
Hi, Jake.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Um, I have some questions for you
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
your monk mode.
My monk mode, right?
So I hear you've spent the last 2 months
Yes, on monk mode.
focused on
Absolutely.
a few things.
Mhm. Um,
What is monk mode to you?
so monk mode is basically the term. I mean, it's online, right? People call it monk mode, but I just customize my own. It's basically I set out goals. I probably set out like 5 or 6 goals, and I plan out in the next 3 months to accomplish that goal. And like in every day, I have to do a certain task to fulfill. How would you explain it? To fulfill to make progress
Hmm.
to that goal. And I so cut out social media for a month, and then I come back again this month. But I can talk about it later. Cut out social media, meditate every day. So basically, my main thing is like to work out 3 days a week, and like do some exercise every day, meditate every day. On the first when I first start, I did 7 days meditation retreat, which I have the time to do it. So I meditate. I want to meditate like 2 to 3 hours a day start to like set up my mind. And in monk mode, I set out like a goal for my career, for my writing career. How many hours I'm going to write. So basically, like give myself very clear tasks of what to
Hmm.
do in a day, and like really enhance my focus on that. And one of this YouTube video is also one of the monk mode thing where I have to post every week one video every week. And I
Hmm.
think I'm missing 2 weeks, 3 weeks already from my last video.
Yeah,
So
and it's
it has to be a monk mode because it's a practice. It's a practice thing.
uh-huh.
It's like you go to Shaolin, like to train, and then you're
Yeah,
gonna fall over and you're gonna like miss your tasks and stuff. And then, but if you track it, then you can see when you slip off, and then you try to come back. But if you don't set a monk mode, it could be you could totally forget about your goal completely in
yeah.
a year.
Or you overestimate how good you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
You, like
I
because
overestimate
I
a
remember you
lot.
saying like when you started tracking it, you were like you actually realize that what we think we're accomplishing versus what we're actually accomplishing is
Mm-hmm.
there is a gap. Like
Actually,
you
yes.
think, oh, I've meditated every day this week, and you're like, you look at
Mm-hmm.
your little calendar checklist, and you're like, oh, I missed 2 days, and one of
Mm-hmm.
the days I didn't meditate
Mm-hmm.
as much as I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to.
And I thought I
So
did
you're
it.
like,
I thought I
you
just
thought
did
you had
it.
met the goal.
Yeah.
So by tracking, you actually like have a real
Mm-hmm.
the real data that allows you to know like the truth. What is so you're 2 months in
Yeah.
out of
Two
three
months in.
months. What do you think? How do you think the first month went, and how does that compare to this month
Mm-hmm.
so
The
far?
first month is really like badass. Like I'm on top of my game because I just start. So I was like really focused on like keeping it in track. Like if I miss one day, I'm like I can't miss another day. So I would just like make up for for the last day, right?
Mm.
But then I realized that the hardest part is actually the third week. Because I think the first 2 weeks is easy because you still have your motivation. The third week, if you can go past the third week, then you already build a habit. Because I think in your brain it's like 21 day that you can change like the
Hmm.
system in your brain that like make you um attached to your
That's when a
habit.
habit becomes
Yeah,
more like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
automatic,
easy, easy. You
second
don't think about
nature.
it. Like now I wake up, I can work out instant. But like before, I'm like think about it and then I forgot about it and then doing other things in the day, blah
Hmm.
blah blah. It's gone. But yeah, 21 day, the third week is the hardest. Then on the fourth week is like so great, and then you have the satisfaction, and then compared to 2 months, month number two, um, it would be because you kind of like it's a time where the engine kind of drop
Hmm.
more, like less energized because you're kind of like, oh, I did this already, da, da. And
Yeah.
then I think that's the part where they identify successful people, from not yet successful, because
Hmm.
it's the continuation of the same mundane, boring task that will make a difference. So
Yeah.
now I slack off a little bit more. Now I'm trying to get hop back on a track as much as I can
Yeah.
because I want to like reduce the gap.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like in the first month, like you get higher returns on like
I'm just more
you get
excited.
more satisfaction when you hit the things, but then in the second
Yeah.
month when you're hitting the things, it doesn't actually feel like progress because it's actually
Or maybe the
the
progress has to
same.
be more challenging. Like the tasks have to be
Mm.
more when you work out, you have to compound the weight, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
you probably
you add
lift.
some intensity. Like maybe you're doing the same
Mm.
amount of sets
It's almost like
per
you have to
se,
trick your
but you
mind. It's almost like your mind is like a rat, and you have to trick it again. Like it's get bored of the same cheese
yeah,
all over and over. You have to like give them like
put
a
it a little
nuts.
further, put it in a
Yeah,
new place,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
put a
yeah.
nut there instead. Yeah,
And having an accountability partner, I think, is one of the best things. Cause,
yes,
cause like you're not just alone in your head. Like someone was like, "Momo, you haven't done this. Momo, you said you're not gonna eat ice cream. Momo,
yeah.
Momo, you said you're gonna
You're
work
not
out
only counting on
today."
yourself, because I think you keep yourself accountable pretty well, but there is a limit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone has a limit of like
Hmm.
we can only keep ourselves accountable to a certain degree,
Yeah,
and then at
like.
some point we are gonna kind of deceive ourselves
Uh-huh,
or
uh-huh.
we excuses like it's a good excuse. I have a very valid
Well,
reason,
with this video
and
as well,
so
because
and this
you were gonna
video
make more
is
videos, but
yeah
we didn't end up making it.
yeah. I made one video in 2 months. I think I actually said I was going to do one a month, so
You still on your
I'm
task.
behind by a few days.
But yeah, doing this is
But
help us like systematically putting things more.
yeah, and
Jack is a very good manager, and I'm a very good initiator. But I don't. I'm. I will try to commit to my task more, my goal more. But that's what I'm weak at. And you very good at like committing,
following through on
following through, and
things,
finishing, but
but
not so
very
much
slow to
on
start.
yeah. So I think
So
it's a yin and yang.
yeah, which can be great, but also yeah, if we're both in our strengths, it can be great.
Hmm.
What do you feel like you need to do this month to get what you started this
Yes,
for?
this month I want to go extreme. I want to have like 2 weeks that I'm extremely working on one project because I have ADHD, so I want to like go around every project. But it doesn't have to be like one. Maybe I should like two project or three project. But I want to like sink in it. Like I want to spend like 10 hours,
Yeah,
8 hours, 10 hours.
go
That I
deep.
used to go deeper. Like because in the past month it's more like balancing out everything, like balancing out, and I feel like I'm having it like easy, like probably like intermediate level
Hmm.
of effort. But I want this like at least like 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. It's like 2 weeks to be really advanced, to be really like
Yeah,
drench in it,
yeah.
drench and drown.
Back to back weeks.
Yeah, back to back speed
Okay.
should be maybe when you go into Texas. I don't know. We'll see.
We will
And
see.
my question to you is that from you initiate your spiritual growth, going to Strike Sun, and like whatever you've done before. My question would be like, how do you think using this knowledge, and motivation, um how would you use it to drive you forward? Mm.
I think I need to put it into practice
Mm. Mhm.
ultimately, because it is like you're saying earlier. It's like it is the practice
The
that is.
action, right?
Yeah, it's not something you like. You do it once, it's good, but I guess to put it in the terms we were using earlier, like getting things flowing. Like I had a lot of stagnant things in me,
Hmm.
and things got moving, but they need to keep moving.
Mm.
Otherwise,
They need to keep moving.
they will settle
It will
back.
set it back like
You
a
know,
water.
and I
Yeah.
think some things released completely. But
Mhm.
in order for the to keep the most healthy and to I don't know if I'm talking to you or to the camera.
It doesn't matter.
Um, unless there's a camera pointed at this way to me.
Yeah, the stagnation is gonna be the lead, because if you keep things moving,
Yeah,
then
I want to run away from and prevent any level of stagnation.
mm.
Careful.
ไม่เป็นไร book face okay.
um,
Scared.
yeah, so I think putting into practice some of the things that we did, the physical practices,
Mhm.
the vocal exercises, um, as well as like asking myself tough questions, and like we were just talking about as well, having accountability,
Mhm. Having accountability.
embracing accountability, because
Mhm.
I know that I can very easily justify things to myself and deceive myself and
I can easily get distracted
find
and totally
reasons
forgot about my
and yeah,
task.
and can be completely distracted by
Mm.
what I initially set out to do.
The same, yeah.
And so like that's why I started journaling every day.
To keep
Um,
track. You're tracking.
is yeah, it's to check in with myself, because otherwise I'm just spending my time meeting the demands that the world has placed on me, whether in relationships or my work responsibilities or other responsibilities that I have. And that's not a good place to be like living
Mm,
from.
mm.
I need to have my center and my core self
Strong.
strong and understood
Ground.
and clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be grounded
I need
and
to,
clear in
yeah.
what I need and what I want, so
Mm,
that I can show up for those other responsibilities.
mm.
But unless I have my own house in order, as they say, um, it's going to be very difficult for me to show up for all
Mm.
the things that
Your
I
own house has to be in order. I
yeah
love that. Yeah.
take care of myself
Mm,
first, in order that I can take care of you and take care
mm.
of my family.
Yeah.
And
It start with yourself first. You have to be able to give yourself what you can give to other.
yeah,
Because then you're not coming from a place of lack, and you completely fulfill inside, and then you
yeah,
give, and
then you flow,
yeah, then you flow.
fill myself up, then I can flow
Flow, flow,
into
flow
the world.
into the unknown.
Na,
Hey, that's it. I think
na.
I think that's a wrap,
I think
and
that's it.
that's it for 10-minute unscripted with Momo and Jake.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Ding ding ding.
La la la.
Ding ding ding.